This web video is number 3 of the 5 things every teacher needs to know about Google Forms. Today we're going to look at using Google Forms to provide real-time instant feedback and data for your students. Here we have that same form earlier. I have the period, first name, last name, all collected. The project link, which is not going to be that important, we're actually going to delete that from this one. And now I have a couple of checkbox and multiple choice and scale questions. So the first one is a multiple choice question. How do you think, or how should the U.S. respond to threats coming from ISIS? Direct military action, indirect military action, no action, or other? And this will be a required question. The next question is actually a checkbox question. And this one is going to be, what is a bigger concern? ISIS, instability in Ukraine, Israel and Gaza, or domestic issues? The last question is, on a scale of 1 to 5, are you concerned about these international conflicts coming back home? Not at all would be 1, and yes very much would be number 5. Now these are all also required questions. So when students go and view the live form and they fill in their responses, so we're just going to select our period. We're going to put in Mr. Padway, and we're going to say there should be direct military action. The biggest concern is instability in the Ukraine, and on a scale of 1 to 5, we're at a 2. I'll submit. I'm going to pause this and I'm going to complete this 3 more times. Okay, so now I've completed this form several times, so there's going to be some data when I go to my spreadsheet. Now in order to get there from your edit form, you can click on responses and you can click on view responses. You also have a shortcut to view responses directly here. So here you'll see all my data, and again I can go through and I can organize it by selecting the little drop downs for each tab and organize it first name, last name, and by period. But rather what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a summary of response. So what I want to do is I want to go back into that original form, and under responses in edit mode I'm going to select Summary of Responses. If I click on Summary Responses, what it's going to do, it's going to pull all the data off of that spreadsheet and it's going to combine it into some graphs and some things that are very useful to use. So the first question was a checkbox question. It created this column graph, right? And I have all my periods that people submitted work in. Probably not the most useful to use, but if I'm curious to find out how my classes are breaking down. This was a multiple choice question, and you can see it's created in a pie graph. So how should the U.S. respond to threats coming from ISIS? Well, 4 people think direct military action. That's overwhelmingly more the majority of the form. 1 person followed each group, whether indirect military, no act, or other. Now, going back into the checkbox question, what is the big concern? Clearly, it's ISIS. 3 are concerned. Lastly, on the scale of 1 to 5, are you concerned about these international conflicts coming home to the U.S.? Well, overwhelmingly, right, 40% of the students polled here are at level 2 on that. So this is a great way to get real-time data and feedback from your students and immediately show it and use it in your discussions. And take a look at the data and ask the students what this tells you about your class, what this tells you about these issues. Anyway, good luck, and stay tuned for part 4 of 5 things everyone needs to know about Google Forms. Have a great day.